What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we're jumping in with more Destiny 2 Heresy content, probably the part of the season that most players are most excited about, and it's Guardian Games. You know, my sarcasm absolutely never lands, and I will get a load of comments about how horribly untrue that statement is. It is nonetheless more content that we'll get during the episode, so if you want to hear about it, you can do so right now. We're going to break down the new weapon for Guardian Games this year, as well as updates to existing weapons. Some of them got pretty juicy perks on. There'll also be new Guardian Games armor for the year. Otherwise, of course, the event is a seasonal event, probably returning mostly intact and very similar to what we had last year, but we'll round it up, as well as some of the cosmetics and important things to know about it for the year, as well as a quick mention for Moments of Triumph for 2024. That also confuses me a lot these days, because for the last couple of years, given that expansions have been pushed back, Moments of Triumph always seemingly refers to the previous year, but nonetheless we'll talk about it in the video, so let's get straight into it. Guardian Games drops in March, typically, for Destiny 2, so it's probably going to be during Act 2 of Episode Heresy. We don't have a specific date on the timeline yet, but it's not far away. It will be a little over a month from now, at the most. There will, as always, be new armor for Guardian Games this time around, and this was shared by Bungie Leaks and Kanye for King on X, which is a render of the armor for the year. So you can see the Hunter on the left-hand side with some arrows there, which is pretty cool. The armor appears to have sort of glowing sections as well. The Warlock in the middle looking rather regal, and the Titan on the right-hand side, which literally has a lion head, as well as a lion chest piece, so you get 3 faces in one on that. And in terms of acquiring Guardian Games armor, it's going to work the same way it normally does for these events. So you can buy them for 1,500 silver, or you can get the set for 6,000 bright dust from the Eververse store. Interestingly as well, if you happen to want any of the older Guardian Games armor ornaments, they will also be up for sale in Eververse. We saw that with Festival of the Lost and the Dawning selling armor from previous years, so those will come up once again, and they will actually have the same costs as the brand new armor. So that's the armor part. Otherwise, once again, Eververse will be packed with cosmetics, so a bunch of silver exclusive stuff. There will be an event card with the upgraded version, also having some unique cosmetic drops, and then there'll be some older ones from previous years which will sell for bright dust. Next up though, let's speak about the weapon for Guardian Games this time around, and the new one is the Karu, another name which I'll probably never say correctly, but it's an arc adaptive frame trace rifle. Funnily enough, we got one of those coming for Iron Banner this season, so kind of wild that we're getting 2. We don't have a full model for it just yet, but you get the idea. Retraced path with Guardian Games colours on it. In terms of perks though, could be alright. Left column is going to get Overflow, as well as Hipfire Grip, Discord, and then there is Recycled Energy, which is a new perk this season, and reloading after defeating targets grants energy to your lowest charge ability. Then there'll be Perfect Flow, Dynamic Sway Reduction, and Eddy Current in the first slot, with the second slot able to get Detonator Beam, where dealing sustained damage creates an explosion around the target. This is a perk I've yet to test, but it's available on all 3 of the new trace rifles this episode. Has the potential to be juicy, but we'll see. This can also get Rolling Storm though, another new perk, where Final Blows grant Bolt Charge, and while amplified, Final Blows grant additional Bolt Charge. Then there's Killing Tally, Jolting Feedback, as well as Closing Time, Harmony, and Killing Wing. So straight away you'll see some fairly nice pairings on these, potentially. Keep in mind it will also have Classy Contender, where Final Blows with the weapon grant class ability energy. So I'm looking forward to trying that one out, but Bungie have also given updates for the title, the SMG, so this is an aggressive frame Void SMG. This year, the first trait slot can get Repulsor Brace, Grave Robber, Threat Detector, Perpetual Motion, To the Pain, Closing Time, and Recycled Energy. Then the second slot can get Destabilizing Rounds, Swashbuckler, Surrounded, Rangefinder, Elemental Owning, Under Pressure, and Demoralize. Demoralize is another new one where precision final blows cause nearby targets to become weakened. So that's going to pair nicely with Repulsor Brace. Of course, you can also go Repulsor Destabilizing, or look for the damage bonuses. And on top of Classy Contender, this will have Hake Breach armaments available too. Then the Tarek Sipas, which is the lightweight frame Strand Scout rifle, has got a couple of new perks, so left column can now roll Zen Moment, Keep Away, 4th times the Charm, Enlightened Action, Perfect Float, Lone Wolf, and Closing Time. And in the second slot, those can pair with Hatchling, Precision Instrument, Kill Clip, Explosive Payload, High Ground, and then Tear. Tear is another new perk where precision final blows cause nearby targets to become severed. And finally, there is Eye of the Storm. That one will get Omolon Fluid Dynamics as well. And then there's an update for the Hullabaloo, the compressed waveframe arc grenade launcher. Slot 1 can get Vault Shot, Field Prep, Impulse Amplifier, Envious Assassin, as well as Envious Arsenal, and then there is Stats for All, or Demolitionist, and Slot 2 can get Golden Tricorn, Chain Reaction, One for All, Cascade Point, Rolling Storm, Strategist, and Adrenaline Junkie. So let us know what you think about those updates to the weapon. And otherwise, the only thing to go into here in more detail is the silver versus bright dust costs for some of the items in Eververse. I thought it was worth a quick mention because Bungie are going to charge silver for some items that have been around for quite a while. So things like the Triumphant Ornament for Heir Apparent, as we can see, does have a cost of 700 silver or 1250 bright dust, so it's going to be featured on one of the weeks in the Bright Dust store. Just kind of wild that Bungie haven't bought any new exotic ornaments as far as we can see, but are still going to sell this one for silver after all these years, so keep that in mind, try not to get caught out by it. Other things include the half volley shell, that will sell for 600 silver or 2850 bright dust. Plus there'll be some new ones being added, which will sell for both currencies. We can't get previews of all of them just yet, but things like the Hoplite Shell, we can see it will have an individual and bundled silver cost, as well as a bright dust cost. Same can be said for the Hawker Shell, 600 silver or 2850 bright dust. Plus there'll be a new sparrow called the Beloved Antique. That'll be 800 silver or 2500 bright dust. And the same costs will apply to a couple of other new vehicles. Then some exotic ships as well, like the Carriole Spectacular, which will be 800 silver or 2000 bright dust. On top of that, there'll be a handful of emotes and things as well, so keep in mind we'll get a bit of a mixture with those currencies, but I'll be sure to give you guys a bit more info once all of the items are visible. I did want to give a quick mention for Moments of Triumph this year though. We can't see what the Triumph objectives will be, although they'll be fairly run-of-the-mill I suppose. Most of it will probably revolve around the final shape being the main content drop for 2024, and probably some of the other content drops through the year, but just a couple of rewards that we can see early for Moments of Triumph, and that includes the Techno Protection Shell, the sort of samurai warrior ghost, which is pretty cool, and additionally there'll be a sparrow, which is the flag bearer. Outside of those two things though, that is what we currently know about Moments of Triumph, and at the latest I would anticipate Moments of Triumph will drop early in Act 3 of the episode, if not before. So there we go guys, that's what we have to round up for the seasonal events this episode. I'll keep you posted when we do get more details though, and announcements from Bungie, so keep it locked and loaded here on the channel. If you've enjoyed the content, do us a favour and get subscribed. But otherwise, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.